What's up everyone, and welcome to a Minecraft tips and tricks video. This time we're going to be looking at glass fog. Using glass to create color gradients can really enhance the aesthetics of your builds. And it's not limited to smoky or dark fog, you can use it to make any of the colors in the game. And you can even mix and match the colors to end up with your own custom hue. I've even seen people pull off stained glass type things where they have multiple colors going behind each other to blend into a rainbow type window thing. It looks really beautiful. But even just using a single color of stained glass ends up looking really interesting. You know, it really pops out from the rest of the world. But again, you can also create your own custom colors by simply layering different colors behind them. The way this works is that if you leave a block of air in between glass, or if you're using different colors, they can even be touching, it'll create this sort of fog effect, because every time the glass is rendered, it will lower the transparency of the glass, so eventually you end up with like a solid fog color. Now this won't work if you only use one color of glass and it's touching itself. You know, the game doesn't render glass that's behind glass if it's touching. So if you start popping out air blocks in between the layers, it will start creating the fog effect. The more layers you have, then the more foggy it will be, and you can add more layers of air blocks in between each layer of glass to increase the depth of the gradient fog. And you can also do this in the ground. You don't have to do it on a wall, you can do it in the ground or on the ceiling. In fact, a lot of times the ground or ceiling actually looks better than the wall, you know, because with walls you have to make it really thick, whereas with the ceiling it can kind of look like a sky, and with the ground it can kind of look like a pit of fog. You know, if you use like lime, it can look like a pit of acid, or using, purple can look kind of mystical. You can also layer multiple colors, like I mentioned earlier, to end up with a unique color. You can even do this just one block wide. And again, you don't have to leave any air as long as you transition the color of glass each time. So you can just kind of make a rainbow pillar, and it will end up being a foggy effect. This is really fun to play around with. I would definitely recommend just messing around, seeing what you can come up with. To be honest, I just started playing with this feature myself, but I have immediately fallen in love with it. It just looks so nice, especially if you use it around builds. It makes the build look even more deep. You can also use a similar technique to create cracked glass. Either poking holes in the glass or adding a slightly different color can make it look kind of cracked. But also, like up here on the ceiling, I really wanted to separate the ceiling, from the rest of it to make it look less samey, and these gradients just make it look really nice. It adds a really nice layer of depth. It just kind of pokes it out a little bit more. Let me fly down here just to kind of show you what's going on with the floor. For the floor, I have like several layers of black stained glass and then purple stained glass. And as you may notice, this does have a texture pack on it. It has borderless glass. I really hate the default texture of glass, but like you saw earlier, it works in vanilla textures as well. It works just fine with vanilla textures compared to texture packs. It will slightly change the effect depending on what texture pack you're using, so I would recommend playing around with that too. If you're using a custom texture pack that has different shades of glass or different styles of glass, just see what it looks like. It could never hurt. But especially when it comes to like builds, like this worm really looks like it's popping out of like nowhere. I really love the depth that it creates if you layer the glass around builds already. Rather than just a pit of fog, it can really look foggy around a build. But that's all we got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, favorite, share, subscribe, all of that other good stuff. And check the video description for a link to my Discord. You can join that Minecraft community to give you a place to talk about Minecraft, ask questions, or share pictures of your builds. I would love to see what you're doing in your own worlds, in your own realms, and I would love to see if you use this glass effect or not. So pop on the Discord and share your builds with me. I would love to see. But that's all we got for this episode, so until next time, I've been your host, OmLedu, hopefully teaching you a build trick or two, and reminding you, as always, don't forget to have fun. Bye bye!